Hello students, we are discussing the chapter about the metals and non-metal. Today we will see how do metals and non-metals react. That means what is the cause of their reaction. So how metals react? Metals lose electron and become positive ion. I told you about the structure of the elements that inside their nucleus proton and neutron particles are there and electrons just move around the nucleus. The power of or the sign of metal or non-metal or any element is because of the loss or gain of the electrons only. That I have explained you in the video online classes. So how metals react? Metals, they lose electron and become positive ion, because when they lose the electron, one negative power is less, and because of that they become positive, so they are called electropositive. So you can say the metals are electropositive elements. Why? Because they lose electron. the at- you can see the example. The atomic number of sodium is 11. Atomic number means number of electron in the sodium. Its electronic configuration, that means how the electrons are arranged in different shells, is 2. In the first cell 2 electrons, in the second 8, and in the third one, the outermost shell, is having 1 electron. So when the sodium has to react with anything, it lose its 1 valence electron and become sodium ion with 1 positive valency or the positive charge. Okay, so you can say the metals lose electron and become electropositive, and that's why they are known as electropositive elements. How non-metals react? As a because they are having most of the properties opposite of the metals, here also they show the opposite nature. They gain electrons. Non-metals gain electron and become negative ion, and so they are called electronegative elements. As an example, we can take the example of chlorine, which is whose atomic number is 17. That means it is having 17 electrons. Now its electronic configuration is 287. Now it has 7 valence electron, and to complete its octane it need one more electron that it gain and become electronegative. So non-metals form electronegative element and metals form electropositive element. This is how they react. Corrosion. This is the property shown by mostly the metals. They only corrode. What happened in the corrosion? Corrosion is the damage caused to metal due to reaction of metals with oxygen, moisture, carbon dioxide, etc. That means when metals react with the atmospheric oxygen or the moisture, its surface get damaged. That process is known as corrosion. If we leave the iron in the open area, then you can see the brown coating of rust. That is an example of corrosion. Formation of brown coating on the rust over iron is the example of corrosion. Formation of green coating of basic copper carbonate over copper vessels, it is the corrosion. Formation of black coating of silver sulfide over the silver, it is the example of corrosion. You can show how air and moisture are necessary for the rusting of iron. One experiment is there. You have to take three test tubes and put iron nails in each of them. Now put some anhydrous calcium chloride in one test tube 1. Then what it does, it will absorb the moisture. Pour some boiled distilled water in test tube 2. When we pour the boiled water, then it will not having any oxygen in that. Pour some oil over it to prevent air into the test tube. That means when we pour air, it will stop the entry of air inside that test tube. Pour some water in test tube 3, place a cork on that and leave them for few days. The nails in test tube 1 get not rusted. Why? Because here we have put the anhydrous calcium chloride which absorb the that oxygen. It is not having air, not having water. In the test tube 2 it is having only water, it is not getting the air. Because of that it does not rusted. Now, the nail in the test tube tree get rusted because it had air and water both. That means air and water both are the two conditions which are necessary for the rusting of the iron or the rusting of the iron, which is an example of corrosion. How can we prevent the metals from corrosion? By applying oil or greases on them, by applying paint on their surface, by galvanization, that means coating them with zinc metal, by tinning, that means coating them with the tin metal, by electroplating, by the coating of a less reactive metal like chromium on their surface, or by alloying, that means making their alloy. Now, a new word is there, alloy. What is alloy? An alloy is a homogeneous mixture of a metal with other metal or the non-metal. किसी metal का दूसरे metal या non-metal के साथ homogeneous मतलब बिल्कुल एक जैसा mix हो जाने वाला जो mixture होता है, that is known as alloy. So you can say that an alloy is a homogeneous mixture of a metal with other metals or non-metal. Example, very well-known example alloy which we are using in our daily life is steel, which is an alloy of carbon and iron. Stainless steel, iron, carbon, cobalt, and nickel. Brass, it is mixture of copper and zinc. Bronze, copper, and tin. So these are some examples of the alloy. So by making alloy or the formation of alloy is one method of prevention of metals from corrosion. Rest all also that means applying grease, paint, galvanizing, or coating with tin or electroplating. All these are also the methods by which we can prevent the metals from corrosion.